Now available in paperback and e-readers. Isis, Bride of Dracula. The Goddess Next Door and John Haynes team up to take on the Dark Vampire Lord in this action-packed Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Bride of Dracula in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. I got a comment from someone on one of my Spider-Man Homecoming videos which said that they didn't think I would walk away from Marvel Studios films. And I'm going to let you all in on something. When it comes down to my respect and the way I am treated, I set a high bar for that. That is a boundary I do not allow anyone to cross. And if anyone disrespects me or any company disrespects me, I have no problem walking away from them. This is something I have done since I was 13 years old, and it's something I will do until the day I die. This is the standard I set for myself because I understand that my intangibles of manhood are far more valuable than the 2 hours I would spend watching one of these superhero movies, or the time it would take me to go read one of these comic books, or to go out here and purchase one of these action figures. When it comes down to my intangibles of manhood, they are non-negotiable. I do not compromise them for anyone or anything. And when somebody disrespects me, that's when I put a period at the end of things and I move on. I have done this numerous times in my life, and when it comes down to these comic book companies, I have no problem walking away from them. I did this way back in 2011 with DC Comics when they announced their New 52. Once they announced their New 52, that was it for me and DC Comics overall. And while I bought some of their products to try to help keep the DC Universe Classics line going, when I bought their subscription, once they started slipping in some of these other characters into the line, like these Rainbow Lanterns, that's when I put a period at the end of it for me and Mattel and DC Comics action figures. And I haven't bought a single DC Comics product in the last 7 years. And the reason why I have not bought a DC Comics product in the last 7 years is because I felt the way they went about that New 52 relaunch was a slap in the face to me as a long-time DC Comics fan. I looked at the way Dan Dido launched that DC Comics New 52 and not giving anybody any sort of closure on the old DC universe, and then just trying to shoehorn this New 52 on the people. And I took great offense to that as a longtime comic fan. And once that was happened, I said to myself, this is my money, and I can take my money and go someplace else with it. If you do not respect me enough to value my money and give me the product I want, then I will take my money and I will keep it in my pocket. Your comics are not as valuable as my intangibles of manhood. And when I look at Marvel Comics and what they presented to me in Spider-Man Homecoming, they have clearly shown me flagrant disrespect by what they have presented on screen in that film. When I look at that film, which touted diversity, and I don't see a single black man in that film except for the criminals, then I see that as a disrespect to me as a black man. And when I look at that so-called diversity presented in that film, I see that as a slap in the face to me as a black man. And when I see that swirling agenda being pushed right in front of my face in this film, which repackaged an episode of Scandal as I saw that as a slap in the face to me as a black man. And as I look at that film as a black man, I see my intangibles of manhood being slapped in the face. I say to myself, my intangibles of manhood, my dignity, my self-respect, my self-worth, and my integrity are worth far more than the money I would spend on another movie ticket for another Marvel Studios product. And I'm not willing to compromise that for any of these Marvel Studios films, and I'm willing to walk right away from these Marvel Studios films because, as I see it, if you're not going to show me my respect, then you are not worthy of my money. You want my money, then you have to earn my money by showing me the same respect you would show these white comic fans. Moreover, the way you have disrespected these white comic fans is even worse than the way you have disrespected me, because they came in looking for the film to be just like the other films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, films that were true to the source material of the other classic heroes like Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. And you didn't give them the Spider-Man just in the same standard that is presented as Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. No, you gave them a substandard product and then told them that it's up to standard. Came at them sideways. Unfortunately, many of these comic fans, because they are so spellbound and so caught up in the Marvel Universe, they can't see the flagrant disrespect presented to them with the presentation of this film. And while they're willing to sacrifice their dignity and their self-respect to see one of these Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, I'm willing to put a period at the end of it and move on, because the things that are important to me are my intangibles of manhood, the things that are related to my core values, the things related to my character. And I'm not willing to compromise those for anyone or any company. It's not going to happen. And as I see it right now, I have no problem walking away from Marvel in the same way I walked away from DC. And I have no problem walking away from anyone, because when it comes down to my intangibles, they are non negotiable. I do not make compromises when it relates to my intangibles. Not going to happen, because as a man, I understand the value of being a man, and I understand that nothing comes higher than me. I am not willing to compromise myself just so I can go look in one of these comics, or I can go out here and watch one of these superhero movies. That's just entertainment, and then I can find other ways to entertain myself. And I'm sure there are other companies out here who will be willing to offer me the entertainment that meets my standard. And as it looks like it right now, Marvel and DC, as I see it, do not meet my standard. And because they do not meet my standard, I will not be buying any more of their products, watching any of their movies, or even buying any of their action figures. And as I see it, I do not want anything to do with any company that will not show me my respect as a man, and as a black man, most importantly. If you can't come at me in the right way, then we have nothing to talk about. My money is to be earned, just like my respect, and both of them come at the same high value. And when I look at these companies and I see the double standard that many people have, it just offends me as well. Because when I look at people, they'll sit there and take a substandard Marvel product that insults them, but then tell me that an SJS Direct product that I put all my effort in has less value. When I look at this product that Marvel Studios produced with this Spider-Man Homecoming, and I see it as them accepting less than the best. When I try to come at people and I try to present them with SJS Direct products, I bring my best to the table. When I look at Marvel and DC right now, they are giving you less than the best. And you as a customer, as I see it, deserve the best, and you deserve far better than what is being offered to you. What was offered to you in Spider-Man Homecoming was subpar, and what many of these other DC products out here, they're subpar as well. And again, I have no problem walking away from them, because I have a standard that I have for myself. I have a bar regarding how I will be treated. I have a bar about what I will take from people. And I will not take less than the best, because substandard is not my standard. And I urge you all to start saying to yourself, substandard should not be your standard. Because once you say substandard is not your standard and you demand better from people, either they're going to step up or they're going to step away. And if they step away, have no problem walking away from them, because you deserve better than less than somebody's best.